Aloha, I'm back with another edition of The Best Hawaii Unedited, and joining me on this episode, we're gonna chat about aloha, about making a difference in our community, and someone that's really lived to tell the tale and inspiring others to really live their life. This is Kekoa, pure aloha, Carvalho.
Yeah, aloha. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
It's really an honor, and I'm glad we can share your story.
Blessings. Thank you.
Thank you. So first question, what makes Hawaii the best?
The people, I mean, just our pride and culture over here is different from, I used to live in the mainland, I used to live in Seattle, and I remember just the way how people act over there compared to how we are over here is a huge difference. You know what I mean? The respect and pride we get over here is way different from how other people is out there in the mainland, in the States. So I gotta say, you know, and that all comes down to aloha, right? Our principles, the way we are, the way we was raised, you know, our culture, respect one another, you know what I mean? We see auntie struggling with the groceries. We don't even know who auntie is. It's not even a real auntie, but we go over there and we help out. It's like automatic.
Yeah.
I mean, so, and I say that's what I love about Hawaii. So make it the best, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so that's a good transition because we're gonna talk about where were you born, elementary school, all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah.
fill me in.
Yeah, so I grew up in Ewa Beach. I went elementary, Aloha. It's like in the housings, where all the houses deep in Ewa Beach. We moved there when I was first grade. You know, before that, it was kind of moving all over the place. I lived in Kaneohe, Kailua, and then finally made our way in Ewa Beach, and that's where I was raised. We just stayed there, and I was raised over there.
Well, born in Ewa Beach, and then you moved all over.
Yeah.
Were your how come your parents moved so much?
I don't even know why. I don't know. You know, my parents didn't always just work. They worked. You know, and I remember growing up, it was always about like typical local parents. You know, planning people always fighting about money. Yeah, so guarantee you probably about that. Like, you know, just trying to find somewhere better, cheaper for live.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of siblings?
I'm the oldest of four.
Okay.
So yeah, give me my baby brother and my two baby sisters. Yeah. So yeah, just us.
So how would you describe what it was like with your parents and your family and moving around?
I don't know, it was good. I mean, it was cool. I remember getting into a lot of trouble. I mean, everywhere I went, I got into a lot of trouble. I remember in Kaneohe, this boy was picking on me, and I was young. Like I said, we moved to Ewa Beach when I was first grade. And then this boy was, I don't even think he was in elementary, he was bigger than me, but he kept punking me out, and I ended up pulling a knife on him, and I was young. Right, so I was really a nuts kid. I just was crazy, you know what I mean? He was punking me out and pulling a knife, cops came, everything. I think that's why we moved out of Kaneohe too.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think that's why we were living in those apartment buildings over there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a little kid, bro. I was nuts, but.
So where do you think you got the knife?
In the house. I grabbed one. Was one of those what are the little knives that you cut like carrots and stuff like that. You know, I still remember that. You know, that's one memory that always stuck in me when we were living in Kaneohe.
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Did your dad kind of like teach you to like stand up for yourself, or because sometimes children are like emulating, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just reacted. That was the first thing I thought of. I mean, the boy was bigger than me. You know what I mean? So my first time, like, bro, don't go and tackle me. You're gonna take advantage of me. You know what I mean? Big ass. I went into the house, grabbed the knife, and then I remember his mom coming out and trying to stop me, yelling at me and that. And I had one of my friends. Oh, my cousins. My cousin was with me. Like, he was holding me. Go, put him away, get him away. And my dad was at work. You know, the neighbors all came out. We had my auntie. My auntie was watching us. Yeah, it was crazy. And then the cops came and all that and everything. And that's when my mom came. She was at work too. Yeah, and then my dad came home, and I ended up getting lickings later for that. But yeah.
Would you say you were like Kolohe, like the Kolohe child of?
I mean, now, yeah, I say that. At the time, I never know. I thought I just, I don't know. It just was normal to me at those times, like the way I acted. I never thought it was no problem. I thought it was just the way I just acted, you know what I mean? And then now, at least, like now I understand. You know what I mean? I had a problem. I just always reacted without even thinking of the consequences. Yeah.
And you can choose not to answer this if you want, but
sure.
did your parents do drugs?
No.
Okay.
So my mom no drink. She don't do drugs. She never did smoke. Nothing. Well, my whole life of knowing her since I was a baby, I never did see her do any of that. Nothing. I literally just works. And she worked for the state. My dad, he drank. And he didn't slow down now. And I honestly said today, he didn't slow down. But yeah, but a lot of people think because I did drugs, they think I came from a household of my parents doing drugs. You know what I mean? I went household like that, but I never. It wasn't like that. My parents didn't never did do drugs at all. Like it wasn't in my household, nothing. You know, I ended up doing heavy drugs when my dad got locked up. That's when I kind of went rebel. Yeah, you know, my dad was always the one. Like I said, I was real naughty. I think my dad knew that. You know, like I always got myself into trouble. Or trouble always followed me. He kept me busy in sports, so he always kept me busy in sports and everything. Keep me out of trouble because I was so easy getting into trouble. So you know what I mean. So when he got locked up, that's when I got into the most trouble. And I guess I never had nobody to keep me in check anymore. You know, so. Yeah,
so what happened with that? What did he allegedly do?
Well, he got busted for so he used to deal drugs. That's what happened. He was dealing drugs. Yeah, and then I never know that nothing. You know, my dad kept that away from the family. You know what I mean? We all never know what he was doing until he went missing for. See, me and my dad were so close, and then he was gone for a whole day. I remember he left in the morning, and then the sun was coming down, and I would always call my dad, just call him all the time. I wasn't a daddy boy, but like my dad was close, and he didn't even call for checkup. He wasn't answering his phone, so I kept blowing him up. You know, the sun going down, it's nighttime already, it's late. Like, bro, so now I'm thinking, what's going on with my dad? And I remember I was what, 7th grade, I think. Yeah, I was 7th grade, and then he finally an answer. He go, oh son, what did he say? He was like, oh son. Yeah, oh, daddy, okay, I'm gonna be home pretty soon. I could tell in the voice something was wrong. I'm like, oh, okay, daddy, I'll see you soon. I love you. You sure everything okay? Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, I gotta go. And hang up, and then that was it. For a whole week, I never see him, nothing. And then I remember my mom telling us later that he got arrested. But at that time, we still never know what he got arrested for. One never told us. And then he came home after a week on house arrest. And then I remember him crying when he came out the car and telling me sorry. One thing, my dad, he never did lie to me. That's why that was the first time he didn't lie to me. You know, he still told me, like, he was arguing with the cops because they, bro, my son not gonna stop calling my phone. I guess because I kept calling the cops, like, bro, who's that calling? They thought it was another guy that trying to pick up from him or something. Yeah, that was supposed to come meet up with him or whatever. And the detectives kept telling him, bro, who's that? Huh? Who's that? They're like, no, that's my son. I tell you right now, he's not gonna stop calling. My son, that's just how my son is. He always worried about me. And then yeah, he was telling me sorry and all that for lying and everything. He told me, the detective made me lie and stuff like that. But
so what was his primary job?
He worked at the place called State French Fries. It was a warehouse. They delivered food to schools and all that kind of stuff like that. Yeah, he worked doing that in the warehouse. Yeah, delivering food and stuff.
And so then I guess trying to make ends meet, he started selling.
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of drugs he was selling or dealing?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
And then
know.
after he went to jail, did he stop?
Oh, yeah. My dad came out. Was right when I was finishing high school, and he came out and he a whole different person. He even had more patience. Yeah, a lot of more patience and a more loving person. I remember him cause like I said, my dad always used to drink gas. So I remember when I was young, he used to take me. He would pick me up from school, and I would go to the bars with him. He used to go to this one bar called Pohaku's right at the corner. I used to go to Puahale Elementary, right there in Kali, right across McDonald's Nimitz, and then right across the street had this bar called Pohaku. I still remember on it. My dad would pick me up. We'll go to the bar, sit over there with him. I always seen him get into fights, everything, bro. At the bar, everything like that. Guy just was, always drinking and fighting. That's all I remember him before he got locked up. But when he came out, so that's how I got pure law. My dad, everything he will walk away from a lot of trouble, and he said, no, but we'll be pure law. It's just a law, pure law. So I was like, oh, guess I just seen him living that way, having a lot of patience for a lot of people, which he never did that before. He always reacted, just boom, like that. Now he just always just show love to everybody, no matter how they're talking to him, to anything. And he always told me that's pure law right there. So, my dad is one of my biggest role models. So, he was a big influence when he came out of jail to me. You know what I mean? So.
Wow. Okay, so I think you said you were young. So how old were you when he went to jail?
I was 7th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe like 12, 13.
Yeah.
And then
12, 13.
he spent several years there. What was it like for your mom with 4 kids?
Yeah. I give my mom props, but she's a hardworking woman. She ended up working. We had to sell our house. They just bought the house too. I remember they bought the house and
Okay.
she had to sell the house. She sold the land. We bought land in Vegas. She remembers had to sell that. My mom ended up working like 2, 3 jobs. So I barely see my mom. So that's why, like, you know, I never have no parents at home. My mom was always working. Like the time I wake up, I don't see my mom. The time I come home, I still never see my mom. She was always working. You know, the time she come home is late at night, but then she gotta wake up early in the morning. She's gone to her next job. So, you know.
Yeah. Did you have to take care of your younger siblings?
Yeah. So my sister was always with me. My baby brother and my other sister was living in Wapau with my auntie.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I had my baby sister with me all the time. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. Oh, props to your auntie for stepping in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, where did you go to high school?
I'm in Campbell. Yeah. Campbell High School.
What was that like?
Was fun. It was good fun. It was so fun that I always say, like, cause I got kicked out of school, but I was still going on campus. So you know what I mean? Like, I always tell everybody, yeah, I wasn't the one that was trying to cut school or wanted to get out of school or all that kind of stuff. I loved school so much where I even was going when I wasn't supposed to be there. You know what I mean? Yeah, they was finding every way to just get me off campus.
So why did you get kicked out of school?
Fighting, you know, yeah, a lot of fighting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then even though you were kicked out, what were you going there for?
You know, I had all my friends. Just fun. I always tell everybody, you know, for high school, it's like on cloud to me, you know what I mean? You had all the chicks, I get to dress nice, you know what I mean? What outfit we used to wake up in the morning, like I was excited for go to school, you know what I mean? I get to hang with all the boys, everything like that. It was good fun. You know, for me it was good fun, but I was just doing crazy stuff, you know what I mean? So that's why I got into a lot of trouble.
Okay.
All that, yeah. So I ended up getting kicked out. Yeah.
Would you say Campbell is a really good school? Because I know sometimes it has a bad rap, right? But then a lot of people advocate for, you know, the athletics program.
Yeah, like now I can say honestly, they really is an amazing school now. They didn't expand and it's more bigger than how it was when we was going. Like the athletics is amazing. Like I see them now compared to when we was going, like, oh wow. Yeah, so they got a good thing going over there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, way different from when I was going. You know what I mean? That was like a decades ago. So
So did you end up getting your GED or anything?
I got my diploma.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so when I got kicked out, I went to the night school at Campbell. So when they didn't finish school, I was going to school. Me and a couple of other kids. That's when we didn't start school, and we just stayed in one class. But then I ended up getting kicked out of that program.
Why?
Just being colloid.
Causing trouble.
Yeah, well, honestly,
Okay.
I went into class all high. I sniffed coke across the street at the park, and I was just all high. And then some couple of boys was irritating me in the class, and I remember they didn't order pizza. They didn't order pizza, and they told me that I couldn't have one slice. I go, oh yeah, can I have one slice? So I grabbed the whole pizza and flew at the board. They didn't order a 2-liter soda, and dumping the soda all over the classroom. And so my teacher was like, you know, that's it, a kid called yo. Don't put in with your stuff, you know what I mean? It was always my fault.
Okay.
I was always just close. Always just reacted, you know, negative way every time. Yeah. But so the crazy part is I never know they were sending my homework home. So they were sending my homework home. I guess my mom went down to the school, told him that my son not gonna be able to drop out or nothing. He gonna he can get a diploma. So my mom used to teach at Campbell.
Okay.
And she used to teach the LC. But, you know, all the high kids go that. So my mom was the teacher over there. But that was before I was going. So she talked to the school and told them there's no way where he still can, you know, get a diploma. He said, yeah, you know, we're just going to send the work home. So they're sending the work home. I never know until one day I checked them out and I seen all my work. So, yeah, I just was doing them, sending them back. And just send them back every week. They'll send the homework. I'll send them back. And then one day I checked them out and I have my diploma. Yeah, I was like, I run down, I was like, look at that, I got my diploma. I never walked in anything, I couldn't walk like that, but Yeah, at least I got my diploma. At least I can say I got my diploma. No GED, nothing. I got my diploma. You know what I mean?
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So when did you first do a drug, or what you would think was something that had some kind of high?
Well, alcohol to me is a drug. So the first time I did alcohol was in elementary. Got them from a family member. You know, they was all drinking outside. You know, he said, "Hell, boy."
Was it a beer or?
Yeah, I remember it was on Red Dog. They don't make them anymore.
Oh.
It was Red Dog. I don't know if you remember.
That's crazy that you remember exactly.
Yeah, it was a red dog with the red bulldog on top of the can.
Yep.
yeah, they don't make those anymore. But was that? Yeah, that was my first beer. I remember when I first drank it too. I think it tastes nasty. I was just like, what? Yeah, I was in elementary, but I think more when I got into intermediate, I started doing them because I love how the thing made me feel. You know, it gave me this feeling where I got to relax in my mind. You know, growing up, I always felt like there's so much going on in you. You know, I don't know what it was until my second drug overdose. I started going to the ER and they were telling me what it was called and all that. I guess it was called anxieties and all that kind. But at that age, I didn't know what I was going through. You know, I think that's why I always acted out how I did. But no one ever explained to me what was going on. I thought I was always quiet. I wasn't a quiet kid, and you know, the only time people hear me talk or act out is when I got mad. That's the only time when I reacted out of anger. But other than that, I was always quiet. Yeah. But so alcohol was my first drug. I got into heavy drugs later when I was 13. Started smoking weed and all that in intermediate. And then 13 years old, I got introduced to cocaine. I started just sniffing it at that time. And by the age of 16, I started smoking it. So I was sniffing and smoking cocaine when I was 16. And then I was doing that all the way to I was an adult. And then I started doing crystal meth. I really never liked that drug. It just, when you're an addict, like how I was, I like that upper. I always like that upper high. So, because I was an alcoholic, I love to drink. So I needed something for keep me that balance of me drinking, because alcohol is on downer. So I needed something for balance to keep me going, because I never like stopped drinking.
Yeah, they say doing coke allows you to drink more.
Yeah.
Or something, right?
Yeah. And the truth is, it does. I don't know if it's all in your mind, but I don't know. But because I always say, you know, I remember times before I did cocaine where I could drink all night, and then it's like right after I got introduced to cocaine, it's like I needed cocaine for a drink all night. So I started doing that for a long time and then I got introduced to crystal meth, and I only did them if I couldn't find cocaine. You know what I mean? No, the dealers never answer, nobody would answer, and then people want to say, "Oh, I want to get this." I like, fuck it, I tried it. I sniffed it. I never smoked them the first time. I sniffed them while I was drinking. And then, I only did it like a few times. Like I said, whenever cocaine was my drug of choice. That was my drug. Alcohol and cocaine go together like peanut butter and jelly, and I was the bread, and I just went bang. You know what I mean? That was my party. I just always loved to party. That was my thing.
So how were you able to access those things in high school or like as a teenager? I guess. And then were you like seeking it out, or were people approaching you?
Yeah, you know, you live in an environment like how I was, around the people I was. I mean, that kind of environment, that kind of stuff is around you all the time. You end up being around you all the time. So you end up seeing it plenty. You know, that's why I always tell everybody, you know, you are what you hang around with. You know what I mean? That's your biggest influence, is your surroundings. And my surroundings were people that I was drinking and doing drugs. You know, so it was always there, and I end up I said no plenty times. That's the thing. I said no choke times. I always say, nah, good. And all I think it was that one time when I was drinking, and I was already like, you know, all boss, and I was like, let me try. And one time, boom, that was it. I was addicted. Well, of course, at the time, I thought I had no problem. You know, my parents never would tell me, my mom would tell me, you know what I mean, that I had no problem, but you know, I thought I never did.
So tell me about your siblings. What, you know, were they able to navigate on the straight and narrow, or did they kind of fall? Like,
siblings are amazing. You know, my sister owned her own house. They good. They never did do heavy drugs. Not that all they drink, you know, here and there. But yeah, they never went down that path that I went down.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, probably watching because the older brother was me. You know what I mean? I remember in jail, I would call him up while I was in jail. You know what I mean? And talking to them on the phone, and they would cry to me. And I crying to them, and I tell them, I promise it's the last time. You know, like me and my siblings were close. It's like we were real close. So every time something would happen to any of us, you know what I mean? Of course, like any sibling that's close, it's like ripping a part of you out of your heart or something else. So. You know what I mean? So I guess probably just watching me, it's like they're like, yeah, no, but they was always there for me every time, no matter what. I remember the last time I ever went to jail. They the ones that bailed me out. Yeah, my two baby sisters, and bailed me out. So yeah, I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was there ever a moment where you kind of felt like you wanted to take your own life, or?
Oh yeah, plenty times.
Yeah.
Choke times. Yeah, choke time. You know, it goes back to what I was saying, like all those voices in my head. You know, that I always lived it from. Since I was a kid, I remember when I was a young little kid, I lived with all these voices in my head, always telling me to do. It seemed like bad things all the time. There was nothing good that was. They were telling me nothing good. There was a lot of bad things that was going on in my head, and I never know how to control it. But that's why I got heavy into drinking. Like I was saying, it helped ease my mind.
Yeah.
And then when I did cocaine, it take all those voices out. In that moment when I was high and drinking, I felt so much at peace. So your chicken skin. I felt so much at peace, and then I think that's why I chased them more like every time, because when I was sober, I didn't like me being sober, because then I overthink things a lot. You know, I still let that to this day, but now I learn how to control them, because when I got clean and sober, I had to fix some head on sober. I started to find ways to work with it. You know, that's the hardest part. But yeah, I was just dealing with all the voices in my head. And then play a big part into my addiction. You know, it was an escape. Yeah.
Did you ever see a therapist, or?
No, I never did. I went to treatment classes. It was court ordered. Well, yeah, that was it. But I never went to no rehab or nothing like that. I went to a treatment class one time. It was in Kali, YMCA. I was a teenager. I was court ordered. But that's it. I never have no counselor or nothing until I changed my life. Yeah, and I went by myself, and I found one counselor by myself, a therapist. Just and it's always good for have one, because mentors need mentors too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
There's nothing have to be seriously wrong with you for just see somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just put that out there. Don't be ashamed of it or nothing like that, because there's a lot of people out there, successful people, that you think that they probably not seen it, but they seen one. Because I know a lot of them. They seen counselors, they seen therapists. They see them once a week. And I get one. I talk to her, one auntie, cool auntie, and we just talk story. Well, once a week, talk story.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Did you ever think like maybe you were born a little bit different, or like you had ADHD or any other kind of
I always
issue?
say I get ADHD, but I was never diagnosed with it. But I think there's a lot of people know why. Yeah, I think we all get them. We wasn't diagnosed with it. But I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD, but I overthink things a lot. I never know that what I was suffering with was called anxiety, and I was having panic attacks until I got clean and sober. So after my second drug overdose, I was still going into the ER because first in the beginning, it was my withdrawals, but then I was still going like month. You know what I mean? Your withdrawals only it doesn't go for like a year or month and all that, right? So now I was like, no, something's still wrong with me. So I took a stand. So I was still going in and out the ER. And the doctor told me, do you know like these are like signs of anxiety? You're having a panic attack. I was like, what the hell is that? Like, I didn't know what it was. And then he explained it to me and everything. And
do you think you're having a panic attack because of the withdrawals?
Nah, no, because
or because of the
just
overdose?
The last time I had a panic attack was New Year's. Not this past New Year, the New Year before this last New Year's. I had one like a panic attack where I couldn't stop shaking. I couldn't stop. I was overthinking. I was thinking a lot of crazy stuff, and I just couldn't stop. I thought I was gonna die, so I going inside the shower, taking cold showers. Boom! I ended up calling the ER. Ambulance came to the house, and then I was 5-6 years clean and sober already. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I say. Like, it just was a lot of triggers too, probably. That's what I tell everybody. And
You just have really, really, really bad anxiety.
yeah. And you know, everybody was all around me partying. You know, fires going off and everything. That's that. So that's why I don't go out, because I know my triggers, right? So
Overstimulated.
That's what the people in emergency in the ambulance was telling me. They're like, "Oh, you're drinking?" And I said, "Bro, I don't drink. I don't do drugs anymore. I clean this over for years already, bro." They're like, "Oh, you had a panic attack then?" I go, "No, yeah." They're like, "Probably what all your surroundings were and trigger them and everything." I go, "Guarantee you it was, because I was just overthinking a lot of things and I couldn't stop it. I was trying to." But that before that, I never had one for a long time. And like I said, that was 2 years ago. So that was my last panic attack I had. And I found a way to work with it. Like when I feel it coming, I recognize it now. So I recognize it, and I'm like, okay, I'm having a panic attack. I'm having anxiety. So instead of like before, where it's coming, like, oh shit, what do I do? And then I'm making it more worse.
Right.
Now I'm like, okay, I'm just having one panic attack. I'm good. Just having a panic attack. So I pray. Or God, I know you got me. My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ got me. All right. Yeah. And boom, the thing go away. I'm good. Yeah. So, yeah. That's how I deal with it now. A lot of just mental talk and stuff like that.
So take me back to the first time you overdosed.
First time was in Big Island. So the crazy thing is, I went up there. I was working construction. My dad is he one of the head bosses in the labor's union, and I was working with him. We were doing a job at one of the hotels up there, and while we was working, I was getting the urge for drink. Like, I just wanted to drink, so I hit up one of the brothers up there. He live out there, and then I call him on, tell him, hey, pick me out lunchtime. We'll drink. Came pick me out lunchtime, and I never ended up going back to work. We ended up just partying all night. I was at corner, and then I'm going to Hilo, and then I'm going to my sister's house, drinking to the next day. I never go sleep yet. Boom, still partying that day.
And when you say that, were you doing other drugs too, or just drinking?
I was drinking and doing cocaine.
Okay.
Yeah, so at that time we were sniffing cocaine, I was drinking. Next day came, the sun was coming up. We never sleep. He ended up leaving. I drinking outside my sister's house by myself. My sister was at her in-laws' house. They were sleeping over there. So I had the whole house to myself. So I was just drinking, sniffing, drinking, sniffing. And then when the sun went down, my body started like heating up. It started to heat up, and then I started seeing like stars and like black zigzag lines. And I was tripping out. I was like, holy shit, that was going on. So I run into the house, splash on water on my face, and I ended up waking up. So I guess when I splashed the water on my face, I knocked out for a minute. Because all I remember was just waking up. Like, oh, what the hell going on? And then I remember just going in on consciousness, because I only can remember pieces of I remember my sister ended up coming home, because I remember she grabbing me, and she holding me, and I'm in the shower. And the water just going on top of us, and I'm just going in a consciousness, like, oh sis, what's going on? What's on? She said, brother, relax. I'm like, oh shit. And then my dad ended up coming. He came down, he grabbed me. I remember hearing him talking to the ambulance. They had to come meet up. So my sister live in Mountain View. The hospital is far away. Yeah, they're all in Hilo. So they told my dad, hey, just drive down as far as you can. We're gonna meet halfway and we stay on the phone. So my dad threw me in the truck. Meet me halfway, meet the ambulance halfway, then throw me in the ambulance, and then end up taking me to the hospital over there in Hilo. And that I would say my first one was the most scariest. The first, when I was in that bed, I was still good and unconscious, and I remember my dad holding my hand, like I just felt somebody keep squeezing my hand, and I remember my dad. I remember these words, just like, oh boy, no, so I tell you stop already, man. You gotta stop. And then when I had a chance to open my eyes, I'm gonna sound crazy. You're gonna say I sound crazy, but this is the truth. You know what I mean? I seen like demons calls around my bed, like was scary. So I'm thinking like, oh, I go in hell. I'm dying. I'm going hell. I'm like, fuck, I go in hell. So that's all I think. Like,
are you laying in the bed, or
yeah,
you're
so
above the bed looking at yourself?
Yeah, I'm leaning
Okay.
on the bed. The bed is not all the way down. It's kind of
You're
like,
popped up a little.
Yeah, popped up a little bit like this. And then my dad like this holding my hand. And then like I go in a conscious, like, so every time I open my eyes, I see these. It wasn't people. I say demons because they didn't look. scary. You know what I mean? And they was laughing. They're laughing, so I close my eyes, looking like, oh, and in my head, I'm like, wow, I'm going hell. I'm going hell. Holy shit, I'm going hell for all the bad things I did. And I never prayed to God at that time, nothing at all. But my dad, all I could remember is his voice, son, see, son. I tell you, stop, son. You gotta stop already. Please let this be the last time, son. Please. And then I hear these voices just laughing at me. Open my eyes again, I see them. Had the curtain around, so they will open up the curtain, and then they would like. But like I said, I sound crazy, but they'll open up the curtain, and these demons were looking like they're peeking in and going, ha, 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 laughing at me. Like, I promise, like that's what was really going on. And I know I sound crazy, but that's what was happening. And then I was like, oh, I'm going crazy. But my dad, and I always said my dad saved my life in that ER room that day. His prayer was guaranteed to save me, your chicken skin, because I never pray at all. My second drug overdose was down here in the wall. I was partying, was drinking. This is the last time I ever drink. Did drugs and everything. I was doing cocaine, and then was partying at Ewa Beach. Back to the other side of the island. Party, came back to Ewa Beach in the morning. Everybody went to sleep. I stayed up by myself. I was outside on the balcony drinking. I ran out of coke. Called my friend. Boom, boom. We was partying. He left. I partied and boom. I started having that feeling like how I had my first drug overdose, right? So I'm already like, oh shit, tell me it's happening again. My heart racing. I called my mom. My mom picked me up. She's like, what the hell going on? And she's snapping, yelling at me. You know what I mean? It was on weekdays, so she had to leave work. So she dropped me off at home. And I go in her room and I lay down. And then all I felt like something was squeezing my heart, like just on sharp pings, and I went and dropped, and then boom, I called my mom. She was in a Apollo and she never leave, go back work yet, and she came over, what? I go, mom, please take me to the hospital, please. And I just felt them again, like that, the one pain in my chest.
You're
was just
having a heart attack
sore.
or something?
And I said I was guaranteed or something like that. I don't know what was happening at the time, and then but my chest was just sore, like something just squeezing my heart. Like I remember my heart. So when we were going to the hospital in the car, I remember my heart was going. Brrr. But when we got to the hospital, I could feel like things just going, dum dum, dum dum. Like I could hear it in my ears, on my heart going, brrr, 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 brrr. And then I could hear dum 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 dum, and I felt weak. Once I hit the hospital, then grab me, lay me on the bed, push me in a room, hook up these machines on me, everything. And that's when I was figuring out. And this is when I am prayer. So at this time, I already had 3 girls. I had my 3 daughters, and that was my reason for praying. When I was phasing out, all these thoughts in my head of them growing up with our own father is what was scaring me, because I remember when I was a kid and my dad left me when he got locked up, and I got into more trouble than I ever did in my life. So all I could think of, like, bro, if I leave this earth, bro, my kids, what could happen to them?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's all I could think of. Them growing up with all the father and all these kind of bad things happening to them and everything. I cannot be there for save them and protect them and pray. I say, God, bro, I know I broke a lot of promises with you, but I promise this is one promise I'm never gonna break with you, God. Please, God, please. Please get me out this ER room. Get me back home to my kids. I promise I'll put the alcohol and drugs down, God. Please just get me out this ER room, God. Please. I do anything and everything you tell me what to do, God. Please, I promise. This is one promise I'm never going to break, God. I know I broke a lot of promises, God. Please, please. So I'm putting this all in my head. Because I was hooked up to the machines, everything. I'm weak, so I couldn't talk. I'm praying it's all in my head, and I just repeating, please get me back home to my kids, God. Please, I do anything for you. I do whatever I got to do for you, God. I put the alcohol and drugs down. I live by your word, God. Whatever you tell me to do, God, I'm going to do it with no hesitation, God. I promise. Please, I know I broke a lot of promises, but it's one promise I'm not going to break, and I just keep saying that, oh, please, God, please get me out of this ER room. I open my eyes. So remember I told you the first time I jog over there, I seen black lines? Okay, this time I was seeing black lines, stars, like dots, but I only could see black and white. So when we reached the hospital, my color vision was gone. I only could see black and white. So when I opened my eyes, I seen bright. And I look at it, like a chicken skin.
Yep.
I had this overwhelming feeling, like how I get right now. This chicken skin overwhelming feeling that day in the ER, but it was a beautiful overwhelming feeling that I never did felt in my life.
It was like you were reborn.
Oh, bro, it was exactly like that, and I felt love, just one wonderful love that I never did felt in my life. And right there, I was like, bro, Cause God is real. Cause God is amazing, bro. And I was like, okay, God, I got you, bro. Boom. Like I was just alive, and the doctor was chipping out everything. I'm like, oh, can I leave? They go, no. Like, and I'm ripping the stuff off, and they're like, no, wait. We gotta discharge you. Wait. I go, no, I'm good, bro. Like, get out of here. Okay, just wait. So I was like, oh, man. I just kept praying, thank you, God, thank you. And then 2018, April 30th, that was the day I got clean and sober, and that was the day that I changed my life, bro. God done saved my life because of love for my kids, bro. That's why I tell everybody, God is love, bro. Love and not just change my life and save it. You know what I mean? And only love can do that, bro. And God is love, and that was the day, and here I am now. You know?
Why do you think you prayed to God?
So my kids just that first drug overdose I had, that was a huge wake up call. I told myself too after I got that, after my first one, that okay, I'm not gonna do drugs or drink anymore. But I ended up relapsing, and I'm going back and doing drugs, right? And like I said, that first time I never prayed, I seen demons. Like I was gonna go hell, kind of like they were laughing at me, everything, like ready for take me. This time, like I was like, I don't know, I just prayed. I just didn't pray. I thought about my kids.
In you said to like have faith and change your ways and pray to God for help.
Yeah, yes, yeah. So that was that. You know, and we all get one piece of God in us, bro. And I know that now. We all get. Like I said, I grew up thinking and hearing bad voices in my head, everything. But there was always that voice where it was telling me for, hey, you know what? You see Auntie struggling to help her out, or you see Uncle over there, you know, hey, or stay on the boss, you know what I mean? You see him pregnant, Auntie, you know what I mean? Hey, get out, let her sit down. That's God in you. That's the good in you that tell you, you know, all those good things. I had that too. Voices, it's just the negative ones was louder because I always was feeling that side more. So I was always just not trying, but like ignoring that one because the negative voice was always louder. Where now today, the negative voice, God is louder. You know what I mean? Louder. He's just loud.
He's drowned out the negative.
Yeah, he drowned them out, everything. And of course, it takes a lot of practice. Like anything we do in life, you're gonna have to practice. You know what I mean? Like. It doesn't just, okay, boom, like that day, April 30th, okay, boom, my life is saved, boom, I'm good, I'm holding. No way. I was still learning, going through mistakes. I was still messing up, you know what I mean? Like I was still, I barely shared the story, but 3 years into my sobriety, I ended up going back to jail for violence. And not a lot of people know that, but I ended up going back to jail, went to OCCC. I never drink, do drugs, nothing. I clean this over. But so I told everybody, you know, like I walk away from trouble as much as I can. I walk away 9 times. The 10th time that I react. You know what I mean? We walk away. That's why I say it's a practice. You got to practice. Keep going. You learn from your mistakes. You know, I can honestly say since then, you know what I mean? I make sure now on the 10th time I walk away. The 11th time I walk away. You know what I mean? I'll make sure I keep walking away no matter what. But yeah, you know, you gotta practice it every day. You gotta speak it. You know, our words are so powerful. You know what I mean? My problem was that my negative thoughts always got the best of me. So when I thought about it, I just let it dwell on me and sit there. And once I thought about doing something to somebody, I did it in real life, and that was always my problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like go back to when I was a little kid when I put a knife on a boy. I thought about it in my head before I actually did it in real life. You know what I mean? And that's how my whole life was. Like when I got into trouble, I thought about it in my head before I did it in real life. You know what I mean? So that was a lot of things. So
you just have to stop it in your mind.
You gotta stop it up here before it comes doing it in real life.
So tell me about your children. Like when did you have your firstborn? And
yeah, my firstborn, I was 20 years old when I first had her. She was raised with me in all the bad things I was doing. So she's seen all the bad. She like live it with me, right? So my oldest one, I barely see her nowadays. Everything. She lives with her mom, but you know we talk all the time. We text each other every day. She calls me once a week. We talk plenty. I'll see her here and there. Yeah, she lives with her mom now and everything, but she went through the rough with me. You know what I mean? I was still trying to get my life together. I was
20 years old, you're still a baby.
Yeah, and I was still in the early stages of my addiction. I never even found myself yet. You know what I mean? Like I was getting into trouble a lot, and she was with me all the time at that time. You know, my baby mama was going through her trip, so I remember for 2 years I had my daughter. My baby mama didn't have her until she got herself better and everything, and then she didn't ask for my daughter, and I, of course, because I was still trying to find myself and everything. So,
Yeah.
but
And then you had a couple more.
oh yeah, I have more than a couple after that. So, but it's a blessing because my younger kids not gonna know me like that. They don't know me like that, and the goal is to make sure they don't ever know me like that. But my oldest one, that's all she remembers of me, and it's hard for her to see me who I am today. It's very hard for her to see the man I am today.
Why is it hard for her, you think?
I think because she's the trauma I put her in, of all the things that I went through.
She doesn't. Would you say she doesn't know you?
And we had some talks, and my daughter just she gonna be she's 15 now, and she reminds me of a girl version of myself when I was her age. You know what I mean? And it's just, and I don't blame her for anything. All the choices she making, everything in life, I kind of judge her or blame her. You know what I mean? I just pray a lot now, and I talk to her of course about it and everything, and we have some deep conversations where she go, I see on social media you're helping all these other kids. You can't even help our young kids. She go like that. And I go, bro, I try and cause. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that relationship with my daughter. You know what I mean? All the years of her growing up into the teenager, I wasn't there.
Yeah, and I understand because I didn't have a dad growing up as well. And, if he were to come back later, which has happened, I'm not interested.
Yeah, and I understand
and it's hard.
that.
And it takes time. It takes time.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're trying to be the best person and best dad that you can be now.
Yeah, I am. And, I don't force her to come see me at all. And I don't force her to do anything that she like do with me. Like, I'll tell her, you know what I mean? They come with me, go Big Island or stuff like that. They hang out with me and stuff like that. She goes, good, Dad. So I don't force her, no, you got or stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I know everything will happen on God's timing. It's God's plan, and I get no whatever blame but myself. It's the consequences of my actions. So that's what it is. You know what I mean? I remember my dad came out of jail, and when he seen, so the whole time my dad was in jail, I never did visit him because I didn't live with this feeling towards him. He left me, bro, when I needed him the most. You know what I mean? And I had this anger towards him. So even when he would call sometimes where he was in there, my mom would give him, you down front? Tell him.
Not
I talk to him. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him. I was mad at the guy. So when he came out, finally got to see each other after all those years, he cried at me, and he told me, I understand everything. Why you never talk to me? Why you never visit me? Everything. I understand, my son. You know what I mean? Just know I love you, and I always was thinking about you, and I couldn't wait for to be here with you. But now I'm here, and I never gonna leave your side. And he never did. He was, through everything I was going through. Everything. My dad was always there for me. I could call him up no matter what time it was, and he would come show up and be there for me. And he still like that to this day. You know what I mean? That's why that guy is my biggest role model, bro. So, it happens. All part of God's plan. You know what I mean? Look, my dad, I love him all my heart, and he's like my best friend now and everything. So, I hope one day me and my oldest daughter can build that relationship. But like I say, it's all in God's timing, and I trust and have faith in that.
Yeah, for sure. So how many kids do you have now?
I just have my sixth one.
6?
Yeah,
Okay.
My sixth one, my fifth daughter. Yeah, I get one boy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I literally just had her. Just had my daughter.
Awesome.
Yeah, just a few days ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what is it that you're doing now? I know, you're trying to spread the message but like, if you can tell me.
Oh yeah. So like I said, when God saved my life, I told him, God, I'm gonna do whatever you tell me to do. God told me, hey, go give this homeless lady one plate. Boom. I gave her a buy plate lunch, give them to her. And I should have, and I seen that, and that's some true thing that happened. It didn't happen in Waikiki. This was 3 years ago. I worked at by the Duke statue. I was working over there, putting up umbrellas and chairs and doing that kind of. That was one of my jobs I used to do over there. So I was doing that, running out boards, and something told me in my head, and everybody tripped out. But something told me, buy that lady a plate lunch and give it to her. She's over there by the tree. And I turn and I look, and a lady sitting there, and she doesn't look homeless. Like, well, lady doesn't even look homeless. It was an older lady. I saw that. Okay, so I run across the street. I go ABC store. I buy bento. I go, oh, here. And then the lady just started looking at me like, hold on. And then first thing came to my mouth, how you know? I go, what you mean? She go, how you know? You know, I've been starving this whole time. Like, bro, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know you was homeless, but something told me for come and give you this. I go, bro, not thank me, you thank God.
Wow.
But see, like, when God tell me that for those kinds of that, I just do it. I don't hesitate, because when the devil told me for false that guy or rob that person, I did it with no hesitation. So now when God told me for help that person and feed that lady like I did, or go speak to these kids, I gotta give God the same energy I gave the enemy. You know what I mean? I gotta do it with no hesitation. You know, it's one of my promises that I made him, and I can honestly say, over 7 years now, this is one promise I haven't broke to him. You know, no matter how hard it is, no matter what I'm feeling, even if I don't feel like doing it, even if I feel sluggish when I'm waking up, I always remind myself, bro, and I pray, and I say, no, bro, me got that promise, bro. This is one promise I'm not gonna break. Let's go, let's go. And you know, and I just keep doing it for him. And also, when people hit me out, tell me, oh, you can come speak at our school, everything, I go, I do it. You know, a lot of people think that I get paid for doing it. I don't at all. You know, I really don't get paid for anything. They can go call up the schools, go find out the schools and speak at, go ask them for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't at all. I do it because it's more, there's a reason, like I said, for why I do it. And that's because of God, you know what I mean? It's a different purpose. You know, I believe if I take money for doing what he saved me for do, it's not the right thing to do. I'm going to live with this guilt, you know what I mean? I don't want, I already live with a lot of guilt for a lot of things I did in my past. I'm trying to, you know what I mean, find forgiveness with.
So how do you resist temptation?
Oh man, I still get tempted to this day. And people don't believe, but I do, you know, a lot of times. But that's why I move how I move. I don't go out at all. I don't hang around people. My circle really is just my kids, my other half. You know, I don't even hang out with my family when they go partying and all this kind of stuff. Even when we get family gatherings, and this is my blood family, you know, and I don't show up. And I remember in the beginning, like, oh, wow, you're not going to come to your papa, why? You're not going to your, why? You can do that to your family. But now they understand. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to have that feeling of being around it. Like I said, look what happened to me in New Year's when I was around all that. I know having a panic attack and everything. So now I know my triggers. I recognize it. Now I know what I got to do, how I got to move, where I cannot be for so long and all that kind of stuff.
Is there something that you do to let out the steam?
Oh, yeah.
Or, you know, something's tempting you, and then what do you do?
Yeah, work out. I work out a lot. I get a punchy bag at home. I let all my hang out on that. And prayer. Prayer is my meditation. That's my go-to for keep me sane. And then working out, go for a run. You know, that's why a lot of addicts work out, right? Because you need something for a new high that gonna overcome your other high. And that working out gives us that high, you know what I mean? That adrenaline, that high, and then right after you feeling all kind of, you want to chase that feeling again, So that's why a lot of addicts that's in recovery work out. You know, like everybody get their own thing in sobriety and recovery, what they do, how for them overcome their challenges. But yeah, that's mine. You know,
Yeah. What would you say to someone where they haven't really acknowledged that they have a problem, but they kind of know they're on the wrong path? How do they get on the straight and narrow, or, you know?
Yeah, well, first, you know, if you're out there, you drinking, you partying, and somebody came up to you and said you had a problem, you telling yourself, I don't want a problem, you get on problem. That's just honest, because that was me. I was gonna be honest. But then, you know, in the beginning, of course, we all gonna think we don't want a problem. But try to recognize that you do, because once you recognize you have a problem, it's gonna be hard. Because a lot of people is ashamed to say that they're alcoholic, to shame that they're a drug addict. They don't like. That's why they don't reach out for help, because it's hard to tell somebody that, oh, you know what, I do cocaine and I need help. You know, nobody like telling another person that they doing these drugs, which is illegal, they're not supposed to be doing, and all this, and you have a problem, right? It's shame. I mean, for a lot of people, you know. So, but don't be shamed. Don't ever be shamed. Ask for help. And don't let shame stop you from bettering yourself.
Have you encountered any resources that you support?
Yeah. I get like I said, I get my own counselor. My mentor who has saved my life, who got me like deeper into my feet and got me into school speaking and all that. His name is Sammy Sampago. He's from Big Island. He has his own foundation, but you know what I mean. Like reaching out to people like that, you always get somebody. Everybody gets somebody, and it's hard to reach out to them. But if you know that you can call on that person and they're not gonna judge you, call them up. You know, hit them up, talk to them. And don't be ashamed to call up one rehab center, one treatment center. You know what I mean? We get a lot of resources now on social media. I mean, there's a lot. You know what I mean? Just type it in, bro. A lot gonna pop up. Hit the first one you see that pops up. You know what I mean? Hit them up, bro. You know what I mean? Reach out to me. I can send you a few. You know what I mean? On one of my nonprofits. You know what I mean? We go out there and we help out a lot of people out like myself.
You have your own nonprofit?
Yeah, it's called Goals Hawaii.
Oh, tell me more.
Oh yeah, so Goals Hawaii. So Goals, GOALS, stands for Get Out and Love Somebody. Because love and save my life. Yeah, so that's what Goals stand for. So chase your goals, not the parties, right? And so our foundation is based off love. Yeah, I mean, because a lot of people on my team suffer with growing up. They felt like nobody even loved them, so that's why they acted out. I mean, just like me, you know what I mean? Always, and we're a lot of kids that they feel like they're not loved at home, feel like nobody care about them, so they act out. Just like how we were. That's why we were so koloi. We was out in, because we thought nobody even love us. No, I remember, police. I stayed in the cell and the police, and I cried to the police, because I first got locked up when I was 11 years old, and go rob one kid in school. I remember crying down and to the officer, and I go, "But you know how it is, but nobody love me." And he tells me, he go, "Boy, you know how many kids come in and say the same thing? You boys all say the same. Nobody love you. Like, you get people that love you, bro. You just saw it. To open your eyes, you can see. But there is, you know what I mean? We get people that love us out there. We just out here and blind to see that. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about your jobs, or I mean, I imagine doing all that costs a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And you just did kind of like odd jobs for work.
Oh yeah.
Or,
I get a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say that.
Okay.
I don't let nobody know. You know what I mean? I get a lot of haters and stuff on social media. I don't like people coming over there ruining it.
So you do have a career, and
Yeah, I get a
that's
9-to-5
your
job.
money.
Yeah.
And then you have your nonprofit.
Yeah.
And so essentially your message that you're doing with the Pure Aloha and your goals and all that is just for love, right?
Yes. God, like I say, God. Wherever you tell me for go, I go. No hesitation. I just gotta go and show up.
So your 9-to-5 job that you do, they must be pretty flexible.
Oh yeah, they're the best. They're the best. Shout out to them. They know who it is. Shout out to my boss.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. They always flexible with me because they know a lot of things that I do out there in the community. They're really lean in with everything. They help me out as much as they can. So
the first time I heard about you, I obviously saw you on social media and all the great work you're doing. I think it was a Hawaii News Now story where they said felon, drug addict turned outreach, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that title or people saying that?
Yeah. I mean, it's the reality, right? I'm convicted felon. You know what I mean? I was an addict. Well, yeah, when they said on the news that, I was like, even my boys like,
that's a little rough.
Yeah, that was rough. That was, but
which,
but
the news does that.
They do. Oh yeah, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, right, yeah. That's what it is. That's all it is. So I don't blame them for nothing.
But
Everybody's
it's
just doing their
like,
thing.
I wish they would focus on the positive, right?
Yeah.
That you do drug abuse outreach or, like stuff like that. And it just so happens that you have a past.
Yes, yeah. That's why I don't regret my past, nothing, because it made me who the man I am today. And, every day I wake up, I thank God. And I always thank Him for all my mistakes and all the wrongs I did, because it wouldn't put me here where I am today. It wouldn't got me stronger with Him, my faith, everything closer to Him. So I'm so thankful of my past. And we all put on this earth and we all get on purpose. Some of us get on harder journey, but there's a reason for all of that. A lot of reasons for a lot of things why we go through and everything that we don't want to understand. But if you get God in your life and you have faith and trust in that, I promise you're gonna understand. And you're like, I couldn't even have explain it, because you're still not gonna understand. But when it happens to you, then you're gonna be like, oh, now I know what Cole's talking about. You know what I mean? Because that didn't happen to me before. Like, I remember growing up and people were trying to preach